I never thought a broken coffee maker would change my life. But there I stood at 7 in the morning, staring at the puddle of brown liquid spreading across my kitchen counter like some kind of caffeinated crime scene. The machine sputtered one last pathetic gurgle before going silent. I had a presentation in 2 hours. My shirt had coffee stains down the front, and my head was already pounding from lack of sleep. The corner cafe was my only option. I grabbed my laptop bag and headed out into the gray October morning. The air smelled like rain and dying leaves, that particular autumn scent that always made me feel nostalgic for things I couldn't quite remember. My shoes clicked against the wet sidewalk as I hurried past the usual morning crowd, everyone moving with that zombie-like determination of people who haven't had their caffeine yet. The cafe was called something generic, the Daily Grind, or the Morning Cup, one of those places. Inside it was warm and smelled like cinnamon and espresso. The walls were exposed brick, covered in local art that nobody ever bought, and there were mismatched chairs clustered around small wooden tables. A couple of students hunched over laptops in the corner. An older man read a newspaper, actually read one, the paper kind. I joined the line behind a woman in a blue coat who was arguing with someone on her phone in a hushed, angry whisper. Ahead of her, a businessman tapped his foot impatiently. The barista behind the counter moved with efficient grace, calling out orders and working the espresso machine like a conductor, leading an orchestra. That's when I noticed him. He was sitting along by the window, sketching in a notebook. His dark hair fell across his forehead, and he had this focused expression, like the rest of the world had ceased to exist. Something about the way the morning light hit his face made me stare longer than I should have. Not a polite smile, but something genuine that reached his eyes. I looked away fast, feeling my face heat up. Next, the barista called. I ordered my usual, a large black coffee, with room for cream, and stood awkwardly by the pickup counter. I tried not to look at the guy by the window, but my eyes kept drifting back. He was drawing again, completely absorbed. I wondered what he was sketching, whether he was any good, whether he came here every morning. Large black coffee, the barista announced. I reached for the cup at the same moment someone else did. Our hands collided. I looked up into warm brown eyes. It was him. Sorry, we both said at the same time. I think that's mine, I said, pulling my hand back. No, pretty sure it's mine. He grinned. I ordered a large black coffee. So did I. We stared at each other. The barista sighed loudly. I have 2 large black coffees. This one's for Jordan. This one's for Sam. I'm Sam. I'm Sam. I'm Sam. I'm Jordan. He handed me my cup. Looks like we have similar taste. In coffee at least. The words came out before I could stop them, and I wanted to dissolve into the floor. But he laughed. You come here often? God, that sounded like a terrible pickup line. I just mean I haven't seen you before. My coffee maker died this morning. The tragedy. He said it seriously, like he actually understood. I'm here most mornings. I'm an illustrator. Freelance. So I work weird hours. This place has good light. What do you draw? Mostly children's books. Some editorial stuff. Whatever pays the bills. He held up his notebook. The page was filled with sketches of the cafe, the people in it, little moments captured in ink. There was the businessman checking his watch, the couple sharing a muffin, and there, in the corner of the page, a rough sketch of someone who looked suspiciously like me. Is that? Yeah. He had the decency to look embarrassed. Sorry, I draw what I see, and you looked interesting, worried. Like you were carrying the weight of the world in that laptop bag. I have a presentation in less than 2 hours, and my shirt is covered in coffee stains. He looked at my shirt, which I tried to hide under my jacket. I have a spare shirt in my car. It's clean, I promise. I keep emergency clothes because I spill things constantly. Occupational hazard when you work with ink. I should have said no. He was a stranger, and this was exactly the kind of thing people warned you about. But something in his expression, that open honesty, made me trust him. Really? Really? Come on. We walked out to his car parked on a side street. It was an old sedan, kind of beat up, with art supplies visible in the back seat. He pulled out a plain gray shirt, still in the packaging. See? Never worn. I bought a pack of 3 last week. I took it feeling strangely emotional about this small kindness. Thank you. Seriously. No problem. Good luck with your presentation. I changed in the cafe bathroom, stuffed my stained shirt in my bag, and somehow made it to work on time. The presentation went well. My boss actually smiled, which was rare. I should have been focused on that, on the small victory. But instead, I kept thinking about Jordan and his notebook, and the way he'd looked at me like I was worth sketching. I went back to the cafe the next morning, even though my coffee maker was fixed. He was there, same table, same notebook. "How'd the presentation go?" he asked when he saw me. I sat down across from him without being invited. "Good, really good actually. I'm glad." He pushed his coffee toward me. "Want some?" I accidentally ordered two. "I'm distracted this morning." "Why?" He peeking about this person I met yesterday, wondering if they'd come back. My heart did something complicated in my chest. "Well, here I am. Here you are." We talked until his coffee went cold, and mine got refilled twice. He told me about growing up in the Midwest, about art school, and the struggle to make it as an illustrator. I told him about my job, my dreams of doing something more meaningful, my fear that I'd wake up at 40 and realize I'd wasted my life on spreadsheets and quarterly reports. "So quit," he said simply. "It's not that easy, isn't it?" He leaned forward. "I mean, I get it. Bills, stability, all that. But you sound miserable." "I'm not miserable. You're not happy either." I wanted to argue, but he was right. We started meeting every morning. It became our thing. He'd sketch while I worked on my laptop before heading to the office. We'd talk about everything and nothing. He showed me his latest illustrations, and I started writing again, something I hadn't done since college. Just little stories, observations, nothing serious. But he read them and said they were good, and I believed him. 3 weeks in, he invited me to an art show where his work was being displayed. I wore a dress I'd bought specifically for the occasion, something I never did. The gallery was small and crowded, filled with people who looked more artistic and interesting than me. But Jordan found me right away, and his face lit up. "You came." Of course I came. His illustrations covered one wall, beautiful watercolor pieces from a children's book about a lost fox finding its way home. They were touching and funny, and somehow captured something essential about loneliness and belonging. "These are incredible," I said. "Thanks." He stood close enough that I could feel the heat from his body. I finished the one I was working on that first morning, the day we met. "Want to see it?" He led me to a smaller piece framed separately. It was the cafe scene, but more detailed, more complete. And there I was, reaching for a coffee cup. My expression caught somewhere between frustration and hope. "I call it the morning everything changed," he said quietly. I couldn't speak. My throat felt tight. "Sam, He stopped, shook his head. "I'm just going to say it. I think about you constantly. You're the first person I want to talk to in the morning. When something funny happens, I want to tell you. When I'm drawing, I'm thinking about how to explain it to you. And maybe this is too fast or too much. But life's short and coffee makers break, and sometimes you just have to say what you feel." I kissed him, right there in the gallery, in front of all those artistic interesting people. He made a small surprise sound and then kissed me back, his hand coming up to cup my face gently. Someone started clapping, then someone else. Soon the whole gallery was applauding, and we broke apart, laughing. "Is this okay?" he whispered. "I didn't mean to ambush you. This is more than okay." 6 months later, I quit my job. It was terrifying and exhilarating. I started freelance writing, pitching stories to magazines, working on a novel I'd been thinking about for years. Money was tight, but I was happy. Jordan and I got a small apartment together, one with good light for his drawing and a spare room I turned into an office. One morning I woke up to find him sketching me while I slept. I should have been annoyed, but instead I felt this overwhelming sense of contentment. This was my life now. Coffee and art and words and love. "What are you drawing?" I asked. He showed me. It was us, together, tangled in sheets, peaceful. "I'm thinking of doing a series," he said. "Everyday moments. The ordinary made extraordinary. Because that's what you did for me. You made everything matter more. You did the same for me." He put down the notebook and pulled me close. Outside, the city was waking up. Someone's coffee maker was probably breaking. Someone was probably rushing to a presentation in a stained shirt. Life was happening, messy and complicated and full of small disasters. And somewhere, because of those disasters, two people were about to meet for the first time. I kissed Jordan and thought about fate and chance and broken appliances. About how sometimes the worst mornings lead to the best days. About how love sneaks up on you when you're just trying to get caffeine. "I love you," I said. "I love you too." He smiled against my lips. "Want to go to the cafe?" "Always." We got dressed and walked through the autumn morning, hand in hand, heading toward that familiar door. The place where it all started, where everything changed, where a stranger became the person I couldn't imagine living without. The barista saw us coming and started making our drinks before we even ordered. 2 large black coffees, one for Jordan, one for Sam, exactly the same.